Okay, let's see if I can do this in one attempt. When I was 10 years old, I was raped. I was raped in the woods by my best friend. Well, I mean, an ex-best friend now. Um, and it completely shattered my view on the world, so to speak. I I didn't know what to do with myself. I was too scared to tell anyone, since at the time I had been was living in my mom or at my mom's, who at the time lived all the way up on the at the opposite side or on the opposite side of the United States. And so I was away from my family, and I didn't know what to do because I didn't. My parents divorced when I was like 2, so I didn't really know her all that well since I lived with my dad most of the time. So, but part of me still loved her more than anything since, well, she was my mom, kind of, kind of guess motherly love, whatever. But either way, I, where I was staying at my mom's house or place for the summer, and I didn't really, I obviously I knew who she was, but since my parents had divorced when I was about, I don't know, 2-ish, and I had spent most of my time with my dad. I didn't really, know her all that well. So at the time, I was scared, right? I I didn't want to, I didn't know how she would react. I didn't, honestly, I didn't know how to react to myself. I was, I was 10, right? I mean, I'm only 16 now. The only thing that I knew, or what my brain told me to do, I guess a coping mechanism in a way, was to just forget about it, right? It was your fault anyways. Shouldn't have followed him into the woods, right? Oh, I'm gonna go practice archery. Yeah, sure, man. Happens. It, you know. I didn't. I was away from home because I was the other side of the country compared to where my dad lived. I didn't really know anyone there since mom had her complete other side of the family that I hardly talked to. I, and believe it or not, I had to just stay there, not say a word for like the rest of summer. But basically, after it happened, I didn't know what to do. I mean, my brain just completely fried. And it's honestly the reason as to why I, probably the reason as to why I can't remember 95% of my childhood. It's just all those memories just gone. My stepmom He's always when my dad always like, remember this, remember that, remember this birthday. Oh yeah, yeah, I kind of remember that. Like I partially remember when they tell me. It's like, oh yeah, that's it. No, no deep memories, no deep connections since, you know, I was flying back and forth every summer and every Christmas from my mom's to my dad's. So I didn't really, and I would switch schools all the time. So I didn't really connect with anyone. Um, so I felt very isolated. I I didn't have an in my head. I didn't have anyone to who I could tr turn to with enough trust like that. Like I didn't trust anyone else but myself, cause no matter what happens in life, you're always gonna be alone in that casket or that urn. You, I will like I will probably die alone. And it's sad to think about, right? Like, and then to me it's like, well, what's the point then? I I've dealt with all these struggles in the past, moving all the time, you know, what happened when I was 10, everything else in between, stuff that I won't talk about here, obviously, since it'll be, you know, too long of a video, but um either way, it was the only thing I could rely on and trust was myself and my instincts. It was my brain told me, well, okay, forget this, that, and the third. We need to make room so we can, because otherwise it's just, you know, trauma. We can't have that, right? Because trauma's bad for the brain, stuff like that. And to me, and for me, I took on the mentality of, okay, I don't matter, right? My I'll always die alone. Therefore, I might as well and make the most for everyone else since I don't have any ambitions. I don't have any dreams. I mean, I would like to have a kid, right? But even then, it's like, well, I don't have a dream job. I don't have not a reason to wake up, right? And it's been like that ever since it happened. Cause I don't want to say I lost hope in humanity or in life or anything like that, but I couldn't understand why. Why did I have to keep pushing through all this pain just to end up for it all to be useless? It's all futile if I just die alone, right? Honestly, and I still don't know the answer to that question. What is the point? What was my purpose, right? Like, and I can answer that for myself. I um I could answer everything else for myself relatively well, I feel, because I was always a more objective thinker, at least internally. So I could always, you know, answer my own questions in the most, you know, logical way I could. But that one's always, I've never been able to answer. It's, no matter how hard I try, it's just because I can't give myself that answer. For whatever reason, I just can't. I just, I think after what happened to me in the woods, made me realize that I don't have a reason to live. I don't. I mean, I'll grow old, have to work. I mean, all of life is what? Work until you can retire just to die alone? I mean, what kind of life is that, right? What's the point? What is the purpose for life? Why would a, a why would a god create a being that has such advanced levels of consciousness such as humans and not give them a purpose? Not to get into like I'm not disrespecting any people who are religious, but that's just my view on it, right? Like with what happened to me, I couldn't justify it. I couldn't afterwards I couldn't go, "Oh, okay. Oh well, time to time for next day," right? I mean, I could, don't get me, I mean, I could, but I didn't want to. I could I could run a marathon, but why? You know what I mean? I could bench 500 pounds, but why? I couldn't give myself the answer to that why, because I felt robbed of any, I think of it this way, the innocence of a small, of a kid, you know, because when you're young, you're like, oh, I want to be an astronaut, I want to do this. You have so much ambition for life, so much passion for everything that it's great, right? You can like do whatever you want and you'll feel happy about it because it's something you feel is right to do. But ever since then, I all those feelings have just completely vanished. They're gone. I no matter how many things I buy, no matter how much dopamine I hit, no matter how many medicines I take that help me to help depression, it's in the end it is technically pointless, right? And so I tried to give myself another reason. I was like, okay, if I can't give a reason for myself, I'll just do it for others. You know, my dad always saw me as his world, right? So if I could put a smile on his face, it's the least I could do, right? If I can't give myself something, why not give it to the rest of the, to give it to everyone else? You know what I mean? I mean, like, honestly, honestly, it's hard to fight for nothing, really, so to speak. Like, I fight through each day for the smile of someone else, which is not the greatest way to live for the past 6 years. I can't lie. It's, I don't know. At the time, after it happened, I was like, okay. To me, as weird as it sounds, I was like, okay, I don't matter, right? No matter, like, I don't have any purpose for this world. I don't have any dreams. There's nothing I want from this life. So I was like, okay, might as well make my make the people around me enjoy as or not or at least have a smile on their face for as long as they can, right? So I was and so I constantly hammered into my head, can't let my family down. Because to me, I let myself down for letting my spirit, so to speak, to just die. I I was I didn't have a reason to live. I just what was the point? My spirit was I couldn't put a smile on my face without an effort. And it's been like that for 6 years now. A little over six. Um, cause what good was I to everyone else if I had already failed myself, I might as well not fail anyone else. I might as well do everything I can for them, make sure that they don't see what's that I'm not there, because I don't want my parents to know that their their kid has been lying to their face for the last 6 years. No kid wants that. Hey, buddy, you wanna go watch him? You wanna go do something? Yeah, sure. No, I don't. I hate going places. I don't like people. I honestly, and maybe I shouldn't be lying to my parents, which I probably shouldn't, but all a parent wants is for their kid to be happy, right? So I gave them that. I gave them the happy kid they wanted, and at the cost of, well, all my emotions, or all any true emotions and ambitions I had. And I was willing to pay that price because I didn't have anything else to do, right? I was robbed of everything, so I might as well give everything else back. If, but my advice to anyone who's a victim of sexual assault like I am or was, don't isolate yourself. Don't. I know that's sort of a cliche for most people. It's like, oh yeah, that's what everyone says. It's to talk to people about it. But what I want you to do, if you are or you were a victim of sexual assault, is to not let the reason, not let the spirit inside of you to permanently die. I'm not, and please don't fake your emotions for years. That's not a good thing, because then you'll just be miserable. So learn to, one, forgive yourself from your past, and two, remember that you can always put a smile on someone's face. Don't let, don't do what I did. Don't completely abandon who you are as a person in seek of making those around you feel better. Don't be don't be like the punching bag, so to speak, or the opposite. Don't force yourself to try and put a smile onto others' faces when you can't even for yourself, right? Because back to what I said earlier, if even if it's true, where we all die alone, then you should at least live a life to where when you finally reach that box or the urn, whatever, that you know that you were just. You, that you repented, you whatever, that you weren't at fault if you were a sexual assault victim, right? Bare minimum wasn't your fault. And if we are all to die alone, then we might as well live, make sure that it is us who is in the box, not someone else. Don't fake who you are for the rest of your life and end up becoming a shell of of nothing. You're just, because if you fake your emotions for so many years, who are you? It's like the ship of The- Theseus, right? If you remake a boat with completely new materials, it's the same boat. That's that terminology applies to you. If you are broken in such a way like that, where your brain can't just cuts all your emotions and your ambitions, dreams like that, then to me, you need to pair yourself, not who the other people see. Repair the person you are on the inside, not the person that, everyone else sees, right? Because if you're gonna die alone, you might as well die by yourself. Die as who you are as a person. Let who you are as a person be the one who goes into the ground, not the shell of someone who is just a combination of what everyone else wants them to be. Grow your wings, let yourself forgive yourself of your past. Don't don't let it weigh you down. Don't let it discourage you. Don't let it don't let them completely destroy you. Cuz no matter what, you'll always have yourself. And that's a good thing. I promise, okay? As much as it can drive you insane sometimes when you're all alone in your own head for years, it's still beneficial in the aspect of that of you I because that's you identifying who you are as a person. Because when you're in your head, you're talking yourself. And my only advice to victims or to people in general, anyone who watches this video, don't let that person disappear. Let them thrive. Let who you are as a person be shown across the road unconditionally. If you want to wear a hot pink dress all day, go wear a hot pink dress all day. If you want to go under surgery, a transition, then go for the surgery. Let who you talk to in your own head be who you are when you pass. That's the best advice I can give. Even if it's advice I need to take for myself. I hope if you've made it to this part of the video that maybe you learned something, maybe this helped you in a way hearing someone else's story, but just know that you'll always have yourself. No matter what happens, no matter what happens to you, you'll have yourself. And that's something you can look forward to. If and for some that may be a little low of a bar, right? But if it works, right? Like if your reason to pull the blanket off every day, get out of bed, go brush your teeth, all that is, well, I can be who I want to be. If that's your reason, then that's probably the best reason there is, because no one can rob that from you. They can try, and they might succeed temporarily, but no matter what, they can never completely shatter who you are, no matter what. And I want everyone who watches the video to always remember that no matter what happens, you will always have yourself.